Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the Couch Potato Queens. I am Mackenzie Gray. Tonight I'm joined by my bestie, Dakota Raine, to discuss all things Monopoly inspired and Monopulence for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17, Episode 3. Hi, Dakota. How are you?
Hi. How is everybody?
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. You have been watching RuPaul's Drag Race for 17 plus seasons now. You've watched pretty much all of them. Huh?
There is like a very, very big echo. There's a big echo on my end.
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. You don't have the YouTube link open by any chance, do you?
Oh, that's what that was. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I accidentally had that open.
In case anybody didn't know, she's a little blonde. She looks like she's not, but she's blonde.
So a little bit about myself. I am 30 years old.
We don't talk about age here, girl.
Central Alabama, and I've been watching RuPaul's Drag Race since technically season 2, but it was like mostly reruns. But I actually technically started watching it from start to finish on season 3. Yeah. So I'm not a drag queen. I've never been on a stage. I'm not a performer, although I look like some type of performer.
Girl.
I'm not a drag queen, but I'm a big fan of drag queens. It is an incredible art form. I respect drag queens a lot. So this is just coming from a normal girl living out in the country in Alabama perspective on things.
I mean, you're a woman who likes to watch it, so you're part of the drag race demographic. So this week the queens were tasked with a design challenge that screamed wealth, power, and owning it all. The queens had to create opulent looks inspired by the properties and colors on the Monopoly board. What do you think of the challenge, like hearing about it?
I mean, I think it's a cute challenge. I don't think it was like... I was wondering, like, when they first brought out the Monopoly cards, I'm like, are they really... Of course, that's what I was thinking of. Are they really going to get the money? Like, is this money going to go towards another challenge?
Money.
Well, that's what I thought. I didn't think that they would actually get the money, but like they've actually been giving out money on these challenges, which typically they only give out like money for the main challenges, usually on All Stars, but they've been giving out money like even in the mini challenges. So I was kind of shocked by that, but I thought it was like a cute little creative way. And then I was wondering how that was going to tie into the main challenge though.
Well, I mean, it's cute they were giving out, but come on, Monopoly, y'all are giving out $200. Other companies that come in and sponsor things are giving away $2,500 or $5,000. You're going to $200, $300, $400. I think it was the max. Come on, Hasbro. Y'all can do better than that. So the queens picked their Monopoly properties in a classic game of drag strategy alliances chaos. Of course, drama followed. So Joella went first. She got Pacific Avenue, which is green. Next, we got Susie Toot, who got Kentucky Avenue red. Lingerie took Boardwalk blue. Then that was stolen by Crystal Envy. Corey King got Ventnor Avenue, which was yellow. Anya Nerve got North Carolina Avenue, which was green. Lydia Butthole Collins got Marvin Gardens yellow. Harmona Lisa got Tennessee Avenue orange. Lexi Love got New York orange. Sam Starr got Park Place blue. Acacia Forgot went to jail first. Mm-hmm. That's so fucking shady that they said Acacia forgot to jail. I mean, she needs to go to jail for her talent performance, but that's another story.
I mean, it was a talent. It wasn't a fan favorite talent, but it was a talent for sure.
I can take a shit and wipe my ass clean. Is that a talent?
But she's saying, well, it just didn't have any, like, it wasn't big. It didn't have a big production. It didn't really have any pizzazz. I think that's
And all
why
that jazz.
I think that's why a lot of people didn't like it. I mean, she sang well. It was just kind of, it was lackluster. It was kind of boring. But I mean, it was a talent. Like, there's some drag queens that were safe that walked around the stage lip syncing to a song that wasn't theirs. I mean, at least she wrote the song and she sang the song. But that was last week. This is a new week.
Ariete passed go, collected $200. Then Jill Sparkles got Pennsylvania Avenue Green. Lucky Stars got St. James Place. Just like, who's St. James? Then Lingerie got to Get the Railroad, still $200, and she stole $200 from Crystal Envy. And then she later got Illinois Avenue Red. Do you think there's rigor going on with this?
Rigor?
Do you think it was rigged? Because all of the cards were in there in a specific order, and RuPaul called them all in a specific order. So do you think they rigged that?
You know what? I honestly, looking at the list and the rundown of all of them, that didn't even come into my mind. The thing that came into my mind first was, are they going to get the money? Like, Are they actually going to get paid for this? I wasn't even thinking of that. That's a good point.
Well, you know, Joella, when she first got it, and she said, Pacific Avenue, that you get $200, I think. She's like, oh, wow, thanks, Mama Rue. And she's like, don't thank me, thank Monopoly. You know, so, they didn't get the money.
With what we found out about Drag Race and what prior contestants have said, the show is very highly produced and production runs the behind the scenes. They call the shots. I would say that it was a little rigged. I will say that.
Yeah.
Because RuPaul couldn't even remember Jinx Monsoon's name, but she's going to remember the lineup of girls and which one to call them in order. Production was like, all right, you're going to call this one. All right, this person is next. This person is next.
Yeah.
Seattle.
Where are you from again? Alabama.
But yes,
yeah.
I think now that you say that, I think that production had that lineup, just like the thing with that we saw with Hormona Lisa last episode with the levers. Yeah. Those levers aren't connected to anything. And, production, yes, they're free to choose whatever lever they want, but production's the one pressing the button in the back to see if Michelle Visage gets dunked in the tank.
Yeah. And then RuPaul tells them that they must create from scratch the outfit that screams in Monopulence. You own everything. They must use the materials provided. You can use your own hair and your own undergarments. And this is not a team challenge. So we'll get more to that team challenge here in just a little bit, because
it's not a team challenge, but the girls were helping the other girls with their outfits. So
Sophie Duffy, hi, bye. Sophie Duffy does not like to watch RuPaul's Drag Race, so she will come in and say hi, and then she boots it, or he boots it out. And then Charlie Brown said, hey, hi, Charlie Brown. Welcome to the podcast. So,
I loved your Christmas special when I was 5. It was great.
So we go from that, and before RuPaul leaves the room, she, oh wait, no, she does that later, but we'll talk about now. So she has the Rated Queens results, and I found this lying around backstage, thought she might have fun looking at it, and drops the Rated Queen results. What did you think of the Rated Queen results?
Shade. I definitely think that they are, especially with, how they've kind of said that. What is that? Is R80's the first one?
Yeah. So the only big thing on here was the Ariete and Lingerie alliance that got outed. I feel like everyone pretty much had already said how they had voted, or everyone else was kind of in line except for Arietti and Lana Dre, and then Sam Starr. And Sam Starr's like to Lydia Butthole Collins, you really thought I was the worst? And I love this little side eye shot that Sam Starr is giving. Like
we all kind of knew that Jules, because their drag family, that they were probably going to vote each other pretty high, which makes sense. I mean, if I had a drag sister or anybody in the drag family that was in the competition with me, I mean, out of loyalty to them, I would vote them pretty high. I mean, if we're being
Jason
honest.
Sparks says, hello, gorgeous Dakota.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah, I don't think there's as much drama as production wanted them to have. I think, obviously Sam is going to say something about being put last because Sam Starr was definitely not the worst. I find it funny that she really didn't call out Joella or Susie for putting her in the bottom when everybody else kind of put her. I mean, it's kind of split 50-50. Yeah. So RuPaul comes in and starts walking through the workroom, and we find out that Joella, Anya Nerve, Lucky Stars, and Susie Toot cannot sew. What do you think about queens coming on season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race and not knowing how to sew?
Okay. I don't know how to sew. Both of my grandmothers and all of my aunts can sew. I cannot sew, but baby, you better believe if I'm going on a reality competition show and Ru has said it, how many seasons now?
17.
You need to take a sewing class. I would be learning how to sew. Now, learning how to sew and being a seamstress, two totally different things, but you at least know how to be able to stitch something. And there have been, but I will say there's been amazing drag queens that have made amazing outfits that didn't know how to sew, but they worked that hot glue gun.
Well, yes. But so regardless, we're going to say you have 8 weeks. You find out you're on the show, you get a list of things you have to get together, and you've got 8 weeks to get it done. And that 8 weeks, you need to at least go to a basics of how to work a sewing machine and find a pattern online that fits your body and have that pattern in your bag. That's just
look at Bianca Del Rio is a seamstress, can design dresses, but literally made the same dress almost every single week and won the show. Granted, she could make more than just dresses, and she was a comedian. She was funny, very theatrical. She did well every challenge, but she made the same dress, just shorter or longer or a different material every single design challenge and won.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing you have too is, I think it was Anya Nerve. She knew how to work a sewing machine, but she had never made a dress. And, you're talking about there are other queens who have come on that didn't know how to sew. The difference is the queens that have come on before that didn't know how to sew and still turned it down are people like Alyssa Edwards, who has some type of taste or knows how to style herself or knows how to pull things together to make it look good. Mm-hmm. Like poor Joella is just sitting there like a fish out of water, going to out of all people to Acacia Forgot and asking Acacia Forgot, girl, what should I do?
I don't understand it. Like there are girls that don't like, at least one of the 4 girls that didn't know how to sew. I think was it Joella? They were blindsided. Like they weren't expecting a design challenge to come up. You have to know that there's going to be at least one challenge where you're going to have to make your own outfit.
And it's going to come around the first like 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that area.
And you've seen from past seasons, like it kind of like went away, like where I think it was season 3, they had design challenge after design challenge after design challenge. Here we are, season 17, and they don't do as many design challenges as they used to, but there's going to be at least one. Why are you not prepared? Why are you not prepared?
Then we have Lucky Stars, who is panicking about her lack of sewing skills, and she's a queen known for unconventional materials like foam, cardboard, etc., but she's never done anything with fabric. Like, girl, come on.
I was anxious to see what she was going to do because there's a couple girls this season that have a particular aesthetic and a look, and they've been doing it the last 2 episodes. Granted, we're still early on in the season, but I was wondering like when they were going to change it up. I'm like, are they going to wait for Rue and the judges to point it out, or are they going to do it on their own? Which I will say, I will applaud Lucky for changing it up before the judges said something. Same thing with what is her name?
Arietti.
She changed up her makeup this episode without having anything said to her.
Yeah. Well, yes, and for Lucky Stars, I don't think she really had a choice. She had no other choice. And I fully believe if she had had cardboard or something else to make something unconventional with, that she would have gone back to her old school, ways with it. Like even so much to the point where Lydia Butthole Collins was getting ready next to her. And she's like, so are you going to do a fish face with this? And she's like, oh, no, I'm going to do a natural face with this. And she's like, what? So at least she did change it up in that. But we'll get to that when we get to her look.
Yeah.
Girl. The
hey,
other
Levi.
big thing here. Hi, Levi. How are you?
Hey, Sean.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see, where was I at? So Joella, go back to her for a minute. She's going to sit there and RuPaul is going to tell her, girl, you don't need to do a bodysuit. If you get a bodysuit, you're going to be Red for Filth by Michelle Visage. Do not do a bodysuit. Push yourself a little. And we know that she did not. What do you, if RuPaul came in, girl, we get into it, baby. Tell me how you feel about Joella, Levi. If RuPaul told you, do not do something for the main stage, are you going to listen to RuPaul or are you just going to say,
baby, if I got my whole outfit 90% done and RuPaul's not sold on it, it's going in the dumpster in the back when we go on smoke break. You better believe. Right? If I got 2 hours to make something new, we're deconstructing that dress and making something brand new with it. Because if RuPaul is giving you pointers in the workroom and you don't take them, how many times is RuPaul giving pointers to girls and they don't take them? And what happens on the main stage? Very, 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 very rare that people surprise him.
Yep. Levi Campbell said she's a messy queen and delusional as fuck. Yeah, stay tuned because we're going to go all through her untucked drama after we go through the looks here in a minute. Yeah, I agree. We're going to move on along to the rest of the drama because this week was the drama-filled week of the season. Like, we go from this to all of a sudden we see Miss Hormona Lisa ripping stones off of her costume. And Lexi just eyeballing that bitch through the mirror. And we find out that Lexi has called out Hormona for having stones on her gown. Hormona is pissed because she has to take them off. And later she's like, oh, it made the dress look better though, because now it looks like fish scales all over my dress. Bitch, please, whatever. You delusional too. But there's some Twitter drama going on. Susie Toot posted, oh, y'all should have been there when Lexi let Hormona have it. God, I wish the cameras were up. Hormona Lisa said, she did not let me, quote, have it.
We were talking about this before the live started and how production controls so much stuff. And I was like, from what past seasons have said, they're not really allowed to talk to each other when the cameras aren't rolling. So how were they able to have this whole argument behind the scenes without the cameras on? I feel like it's in their contract that when the season is airing, they have to start some social media drama amongst each other. And whether they delete it or, it's fake or it's half real, half fake, I think a lot of this is put on. Granted,
Possibly.
It's very fun to watch, and you
Yep.
you remain hopeful that maybe it did happen, but I feel like some of this was like put on because you know that they're not letting them have an argument like that and the cameras aren't rolling when they're not even allowed to talk to each other.
Well, the only thing I can think of is if, in the confessionals or something, Lexi made a comment and said, I wish that I could use the stones that I brought from home, but and something got said behind, and then before they go on, to film, production is like, Hormona, you have to take these stones off your gown, because we'll find out Hormona wasn't the only one in a second. Hormona then responded to Susie, I love the stones on your little headpiece. Then Hormona said she did not let me have it. And somebody said, if anything, she was helping me from getting into trouble. Hormona Lisa was like, that's literally not it either. LOL. Oh. Then Hormona Lisa said, who else also used rhinestones brought from home? Clock it. She's now deleted that tweet. Lexi Love comes on and says, let me set the record straight. Susie also broke the rules with Hormona, and I called both of them out. However, Hormona was the only one that brought it up once we were filming. Secondly, the stones on my fit were from the challenge table. Clock it.
See, that's the thing with me. A lot of the girls are divided about this when I was like seeing how some of the other past Drag Race contestants were reacting to like this whole drama. And a lot of them were saying like Monet Exchange and a couple of other drag queens were saying, oh, well, snitches get stitches. But honestly, if I was there, I probably wouldn't have said anything because I would have let the judges, I would have brought it up on the main stage instead of doing it behind. I would have brought it up on the main stage so that the judges could have let her have it.
Well, actually, you say snitches get stitches because somebody said, keep on snitching. And Lexi told them, get yourself together. Hormona snitched on herself. So I also wonder if it was like something where they're backstage and Hormona's like, oh, yeah, I did all this work and put all these stones on my gown. And, then some, I don't know. But Lexi then said, Hormona said, let her have it. I don't think. Lexi Love then comes back and says, I'm releasing a new song featuring Mirage. Snitches get stitches next Friday. Then Susie Toot, and by the way, nothing's come from anything else. I think Susie Toot is just joking here. But Susie Toot said, just got off the phone with RuPaul. I'm disqualified. They're editing me out of the season. Thanks, Lexi. Girl.
The drama this season.
Girl.
I will say I'm really happy that that they're bringing the whole villain mentality between some of the girls back into Drag Race. I know for so long, especially like pre-COVID and right after COVID, it's like everybody was afraid to say anything or afraid to be real. Like, I'm kind of glad that girls are being more authentic. Like we saw it last season with Plain Jane. We've seen it with Mistress Isabel Brooks. And then we're seeing it this season. I feel like some of the girls are getting a little bit of a villain edit and they're probably not actually villains. I feel like they're trying to produce it in that way. But there are girls like Lexi. I think Lexi, did she snitch? Yeah. But I mean, for the sake of television and the sake that it's a competition and you want to win, like, do what you got to do.
Don't get me wrong. I would have snitched all day long. If you have a leg up and you're using something that we were told we couldn't use, I'm going to tell. It's a competition. You're competing for $250,000. Fuck you, bitch. Joseph Collins said, this kind of shit's been happening since season 3. Raja and the tulle fabric, it didn't make a damn bit of difference. Hormona made an okay dress and Stones couldn't have made it better. Yep. Exactly.
And she was the one that was advertised as being a seamstress this season.
Yep. And we're going to get to her. We'll get to her look in just a minute, because that's another thing. So, the next bit of drama is between Anya Nerve and Jewel Sparkles. Going back to what we said earlier, RuPaul said, this is not a team challenge, so, They all ran up. They all claimed their stuff. Jewel Sparkles grabbed some trim. And Anya Nerve comes up to her. And you can see here at the bottom, are you using this, Jules? Yes. Yes, I am. And then she just proceeds to take it and use it anyway. And then when Jules is talking about it later on to Arietti, then Anya Nerve is going to get mad and say, well, girl, it wasn't yours to hold on to. It wasn't yours to tell me that I couldn't use it. So I just took it and used it anyway. Bitch, I'm going to say right now, if you had put your hands on my station and took what I was, I would have knocked the fuck up out of somebody.
I understand like where they're coming from though. Like you have limited resources where you have to make a dress using only those materials, and each queen is stuck with that color of their playing card from the Monopoly mini challenge. Like I understand, like your dress is basic, you need to add something, you don't have anything else, someone else has something, and you can use those materials if they say you can use them. But like, was that stated in the challenge though, that you could only use those materials, but like that you couldn't share materials that you had gotten first? Like, was it first come?
Well, it's first come, first serve, because they all ran up and grabbed what they wanted.
Just
so
like
if
you
you
grabbed it first, it was yours. You didn't have to share it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody has to share anything.
Yeah, she asked and she said no. So obviously she was currently using it. I would have said, okay, I can see that you're using it now, but like maybe when you're done, or if you have any leftovers, is it okay if I have some for my dress? Like there's like a way of like handle it. She just like, from what they said, she just like snatched it and like started putting it on her dress.
Drag queens doing actual drag queen things. I love this shit. They must have cast some queens from some dive bars or something, because this is the realest drama all season so far. Exactly. And I think that goes back to what Dakota was saying a minute ago. Villains are being villains. Like before, I think people are too social media aware. And from like, let's say around season 7 or 8 until, honestly, Mistress Isabel Brooks kind of kicked it all off.
Well, it wasn't even just about the cancel culture. It was a lot of previous seasons. They were seeing how a lot of the villains were being treated after their season. Look at Fifi O'Hara. Look how badly she was treated. I mean,
well, Fifi O'Hara was also a cunt. So
she did what she did well. I will give it, because I personally like Fifi O'Hara. I always have, but I don't feel like being bullied on the level she was. I'm like, it's a TV show. And I'm like, not all these girls are best friends. You don't have to bully someone every chance you get because you don't like them. You're not going to like everybody that you see on TV.
Some people deserve to be bullied, like the season 2 winner. I will not say her name. She deserves it. But, other people.
Raven?
Yeah, right. No, Raven was, Raven should have won.
The honorary winner.
Yes, the honorary winner. But yeah, I think after Mistress Isabel Brooks, Mistress came back and gave us such good villain energy. And then that was followed up by Plain Jane, that I think because of those two, girls now feel more comfortable being a little bit more shady, because people were able to kind of have their toes. Before that, I felt like everyone was trying to fight each other for miscongeniality. And it was honestly just annoying. And like Joseph said here, drag queens doing actual drag queen things, because that's all you hear in a dressing room is queens sitting there.
And that's what makes it so fun.
Oh God, yes.
Like
it's TV gold.
Is the drama, like the humor, the cattiness. Like that's why you want to watch a reality show. Like when you're watching a reality show like The Real Housewives or RuPaul's Drag Race or Big Brother, like you want to see this kind of, you want to tune in to see the train wreck. Like you want to see that.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So, let's see.
And I don't think Lexi was going out of her way to be bitchy about hormonal.
No, I don't think she was either.
I think she's just being real. I mean, she's just being she's being unapologetically herself. I mean, if there's anybody in this cast that I would not mess with outside, it would be Lexi Love.
Yeah, I agree. But she's the one that I would want to hang out with and like get drunk or do whatever, you know.
Yeah, she's such a vibe.
But, and we talked about this last week, and you and I have talked about this on the phone. There's something to be said for a queen who has had as many years of experience under her belt as Lexi, compared to the rest of these girls who are in their early 20s and maybe not as many years of experience. You know, just like as lucky as like Lucky Stars, for example. She's not done drag in over a year. You know, and a lot of what she does is these constructed art pieces, art looks, really. But, and we're fixing to get to the looks. You see what she did, you know, for Runway and things. So it's just, if a queen has been doing pageants or is doing things in big bars like Play or, you know, some of the Nashville clubs or Atlanta clubs, even, you know, they have a leg up, in my opinion. But anyway. So moving on to the runway. Before we get to the runway, we had a moment between Lexi and Sam where Lexi was talking about, at first she wasn't sure about Sam Starr, but they kind of had a little back and forth about making things work. And Sam's like, yeah, I've made bracelets out of toilet paper rolls and things. And Lexi's like, I'm now a Sam Starr stan, you know. So I thought that was a cute moment between the two of them, kind of being able to relate to each other and each other's drag. Because, I mean, that is what a lot of drag is. It's doing it yourself, or making what you can from what you can. Mm-hmm. So our judges this week, RuPaul, Michelle Visage, T.S. Madison, and Sandra Bernhard. Y'all, Sandra Bernhard getting old. Like, I looked at her and I was like, oh, shit.
I feel like she's always looked the same, though. Like, I feel like she's always looked like she's been eternally 50. Yeah. I'm not trying to read her, but I feel like she's always looked the same. Like when she was in, like first time I ever saw her was Roseanne. And then I watched some of her stand-up drama when she made fun of Mariah Carey early on in her career.
How dare she?
And then of course she was in, oh my gosh, what's the TV show that we, Pose, when she was in Pose. She was one of the doctors in Pose. I just feel like she's always looked the same.
Joseph Collins said, Lexi is just being the only seasoned queen here. She's like, y'all know there are cameras, right? Y'all know they can see you snatching shit and breaking rules, right? And he's like, I feel older knowing she is. Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, she's good TV. And I hope she makes it. Like, to me, I feel like she's going to make it all the way to the end just because of how she is.
And that's the thing too. Everyone's saying, oh, she's so seasoned and she's so much more experienced. She's like 33.
But I mean, 10 years of experience on some of these people where you have been performing the entire time. It's like playing and that.
They're making her look like she's the grandmother drag queen when she's literally 33, because there's so many. The age range for the rest of them is like 25 and under.
Girl, I was doing drag before she was even born. Like, God. Anyway, we're moving on to the runway. First up is Lucky Stars. And Lucky Stars is serving us her St. James Place orange look. Girl, do you think that this is a slay of the day, an iconic look? Would you mop it because you want to steal it for yourself? Is it a popcorn pass or a meh? Or is this a couch catastrophe?
I want to mop it so I can steal it and hide it away so no one else on earth ever has to look at it again. Baby, it's rough. It's rough.
You know, and I feel bad. I feel bad because I know she needed this for her family. And I feel bad because I know she wants it. But Kalana Blue and I talked about this last week. You know, RuPaul's Drag Race is going to launch them into the next part of their drag career. And me and her have both worked on Pride and, you know, worked with queens that come for Pride. These queens are flying, getting off the airplane, having maybe 1 to 2 hours to get a nap before they have another hour to get in makeup. And they're doing 3 numbers on stage back to back, followed by a meet and greet, followed by going back to their hotel for 4 or 5 hours of sleep before they jump on another plane. And having looks that are made out of unconventional materials like foam, plastic, cardboard are not going to hold up to the wear and tear of life on the road. Because we were talking about what was the queen that I was telling you about? Why can I not remember her name?
Nina Bonina Brown.
No, oh God, no. The Puerto Rican queen, Tiny.
Yara Sofia.
Yara Sofia. When I worked with Yara Sofia, I was like, oh my God, I love this outfit. She's like, I hate this outfit. I've worn it 100 times. I've had it for 3 months and worn it every day for 3 months. Unconventional outfits, you're not going to be able to wear like that. And some of her big outfits, you only get one bag. So she's going to have to rely on looks like what we see on our screen. So she needs to make sure her makeup is polished, because she's just not going to have the time or the material. It's just going to take too much. So I feel like, she's either going to fizzle out or we're going to see a drastic change to her drag moving forward.
It breaks my heart seeing a queen as talented and artistic as she is. I mean, you've seen the last 2 episodes come up with something like this.
Yeah.
My heart hurts for her seeing her walk out like that because you know what she's capable of. But at the same time, it's season 17. Like, you have to be diverse with your drag. You have to be able to do more than one thing. And this is not a time to try out new things on Drag Race and with cameras where millions of people can see you. Like, this is not the time to try new things. And you can tell by her makeup. Like, if you look at a close-up of her makeup, you can tell she's never done makeup like this before.
Yeah. And Judge Collins said, it looks like a bag of orange sliced candies that I forgot about in my coat all winter and that I pulled out the next winter. I cannot agree more. And when there was a close-up of her closer to the lip sync, you could tell that her lace front wig had a gap in the center. So her lace front wasn't all the way down. And then you could see her makeup wasn't blended. Like, just taking a blending brush and just blending out all those, would have helped a lot.
It almost looks like she was going for an era type dress, like a very like Marie Antoinette with the ruffles and with the necklaces and the pearls. And then like she has like her makeup is so white in comparison to the rest of her body. Like, it almost looks like the top portion of a Victorian style dress is almost what it looked like.
Yeah. Well, and and then in her runway, she's like, I'm going to sell the hell out of this garment. I'm smiling all the way to the end of the runway. And she never smiled once. And I feel like, and T.S. Madison, I think, said that to her in her critiques. She's like, I know you're not feeling this, but you have to sell it. You have to own it. And you have to make us believe that, you are confident in what you're wearing. And that's going to go to another critique that we get later on for On Your Nerve, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But like for her, I feel like she had given up. She's like, yeah, this isn't the best. And, I'm giving up. Because that's what came across. I'm going to say this is a couch catastrophe.
You could
like,
see how defeated she was before.
Yeah.
Like, she even walked down the runway. Like, she just didn't have that personality that she normally does. Like, coming from the last 2 episodes where she was in the top to coming to this, like, she knew that this wasn't her best.
Yeah. I think if this all just if her season of Drag Race doesn't defeat her, I feel like she will be a good one to see on like a second chances type season where queens who were booted really early get to come back for another try. If she can learn from her experiences here and grow from it, I think it'll make her unstoppable moving forward. But, we'll see. But I'm saying couch catastrophe. You said you're going to mop it so you can burn it.
No, I'm going to mop it so I can steal it and hide it away from the rest of the world.
Yeah. Miss Hormona Lisa.
The seamstress of the season, from what I've heard. She is a seamstress queen from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I like Hormona Lisa. I know that she's getting on everybody else's nerves. She's kind of like the
Oh, I love her. I think she's hilarious. Yeah.
she's like the pheromone of the season, where she's just like dramatic and whining, and she's just getting on everybody's nerves. But I love Hormona Lisa. Like, I don't feel like this was a horrible dress. I feel like the stones would have made it pop more. But I will say, for her being a seamstress, it's kind of just like meh.
Yeah.
It's not.
For me, it's like right here in the bottom. It's like area. Like, this is very misshapen. It's like not even. Then she put this little thing on her neck that makes her neck off center, like it's being knocked off her hand. And she had removed that, maybe clean up the bodice area. And at the very bottom where the mermaid goes out, if she had done that at like a triangle or an angle to make her look a little bit longer, but with it just being a blunt cut and all the way across, it just, and then at the bottom, you can see the hoop skirt sticking out, and it just looks unfinished on the bottom. I know she's better than what it's showing,
I feel like with the dress, to just make it that much better, because she clearly knows what she's doing. Instead of doing like the hoop style bottom of the mermaid dress, I would have used more tulle and made it even bigger. And not brought the fabric all the way down. I just would have used tulle, even though it is like a little costumey. But then instead of having the shawl that she has, I would have like used the fabric and made like a fascinator on one of the shoulders. And I also maybe would have done like a bow or something in the back, like Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, Marilyn Monroe, how she had the big bow in the back with her dress. I feel like, or even like something small, like a belt, like make it an umpire waist and put something right here to break up, because it's just like there's so much fabric and there's just nothing going on from her décolleté area all the way down to her knees. It's just blah.
Well, and her other issue right here is, and we'll talk about with some of the other queens, she did not accessorize it correctly. Like, they could have used their own jewelry. So she did not do that. I felt like if she had lost this or just had it draped loosely around the shoulders, lost the thing on the neck, and had a really gorgeous piece around her neck, that would have helped it too. She just did not style it correctly. And so for that, I'm going to say it's a popcorn pass. It's meh for me.
Yeah, I want to love it, because I feel like if she would have changed the hair and did like a strapless version, and then like got rid of the shot, I feel like it could have made it that, and like a big statement necklace. I feel like I would have loved it, and it would have been a mop. But yeah, it's a popcorn pass for me.
Next up, we have Lexi Love. Coming out with this look. She has, the bolt that she got from a fashion show that she watched, and she tosses the bolt down the runway and walks. I thought it was an interesting trick. However, for me, this does not scream opulence. You own everything. This screams really cute show look that are going to make the kids scream in the club.
She had an idea and a vision for this, and I know that she got some inspiration from a runway show that she saw, where the girl was wearing a very short, similar dress, and she brought the fabric roll out with her and threw it behind her, and it unrolled as she was walking. I feel like it's a cute idea, and it added a little bit of personality to the runway. But
I mean, I
Other
feel like
than
she spent more on on the idea and the execution of that idea than she did the actual garment.
I don't even think I thought that now that I'm looking at it, I thought the fabric, the train that was behind her was just a continuation of the fabric that her dress was. But it looks like her dress is a completely different fabric than
Yeah. Yeah.
the roll
And
train.
also, this is just her own hair that she's wearing. She did not wear any. She just threw her hair up in a little small pony bun and went with it. I feel like she needed more. She needed something more.
Yeah, I don't mind the slicked back look when you're doing a high fashion type of look like this, but I feel like she needed like a
But
hair
is it high
piece.
fashion?
That's what she was going for.
I don't think she meant that.
I would
It's a
say
popcorn pass for me.
I don't feel like she needed like a basketball size hairpiece on her head because
No.
she is very like small, even though she's
But she
tall.
could have done like a really high dramatic pony,
Yeah,
and that
like
would have made it look even
like
better. Yeah.
I probably with the train, I probably wouldn't have done like a high ponytail because that's just gonna drag everything down. I would have done how she has kind of like that conceptual piece, like with her hair, the way she's got it like hairsprayed and then flat ironed
Yeah.
to do what it's doing. I feel like if she would have added a couple of hair pieces just to make it bigger, like very Patti LaBelle circa like the 80s.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like she should have just added a couple of hair pieces in there just to make it a little bit bigger. Because it would have like added something to it because the dress is so small and there's really not a lot going on with it. I feel like she really should have played her hair up a lot more than she did.
Yeah, I agree.
I know a lot of drag queens are going to read her because a lot of drag queens do not like girls that wear their natural hair on stage. They also don't like the girls that perform with their natural hair. But she's a woman. That's a woman.
I mean, I've done both. Like after I transitioned, I performed several times with my own hair, and it was fun to be able to do, but it wasn't as dramatic, and it wasn't, having a piece or having something in just gives it that little bit of extra, that you need to kind of
I've always
put your pussy on it.
Like I grew up watching drag queens from afar. My first experience was watching Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar with Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes and John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
I can't say his last name. So I guess I just have a different.
Sean Lawley, why is that? Why is what? I don't understand why is that? What's what? Explain, please.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that was a lot of that was one of the biggest, movies that came out that had anything like, drag in it to begin with, and then it kind of just blew up from there. But yeah.
I mean, if I was to perform, because I grew up with that, like a actor's version of what a drag queen is. And then a lot of the performers that I watched were trans women. So, and a lot of the trans women would wear their natural hair. And they would also wear hair pieces.
Kicked off trannies with knives.
Yes. So like people like Erica Andrews, Cassandra Cass,
Sean said, why don't they like natural hair? It's a lot of times because they're jealous because they don't have the natural or the longer hair, but it's just something that's looked down on. It's, they want people who are, using a wig or using extension pieces because drag is usually over the top, dramatic, that extra, little bit of oomph.
I mean, if you've got it, flaunt it. I mean, I know girls out there that have so much natural hair, like, I mean, they could get away with wearing it because it almost looks like they're wearing a wig. You know how many people tell me that, like, they're like, where do you get your wigs from? Like, girl, this is my hair.
Yeah, that is literally her hair.
If I would they're like, where do you get your extensions? Where do you get your wigs from? Baby, this is my hair.
That's not an extension.
That's why I said, like, if I was
teased and fluffed to the gods.
Yeah.
If I'm ever going somewhere with her and I'm late and people wonder why I'm late, it's because I'm waiting on her because she gets in the mirror and she's like, yeah.
You can't rush art. I mean,
you can't rush perfection.
But why I know that was a long tangent to get to where we're going, but if I was, because I grew up watching trans women performing, which I don't technically call trans women drag queens, I call them showgirls. But if I was to perform, I would respect the drag queens and the comedy queens that wear the wigs, that wear like these big extravagant outfits. If I was to perform, I can't say that I wouldn't be wearing my natural hair and just like wearing some pasties and a glitter sequin robe.
Well, I mean, let's just go back to Erica Andrews. You know, she's the epitome of, you know, glamour and like a beautiful trans woman. She always had in a hairpiece. It was usually like a high pony or something like that, but it was always glitter pasties, and she went on with it, you know, and she rocked it. But it's just giving it a little bit extra oomph, you know, because that's what it's about. And usually when you're doing these shows and you're in clubs, you're doing it for money. You're actually being booked to come in. So you need to do something to give it a little bit extra glamour and high fat, you know, because people are paying to come and see you. So.
Thanks. Jason said Dakota's hair is perfection. Thanks, Jason.
Oh God, there goes her head blowing up. Oh, we can't see her on the screen anymore. Oh. So are you gonna mop it? Is it a couch catastrophe? Is it a popcorn pass? Or are you saying it's a sleigh?
I would mop it. Like I would, if it was a little bit longer, I would nix the train.
If I was skinnier, I would mop it, but I'm not skinnier, so I'm going to say popcorn pass.
I would mop it. I feel like it's a cute look, but it's going to be 50-50 on the hair. I do agree that it should be a little bit bigger since the dress was so simple. I feel like she could have added some hair pieces, but I feel like it was fun.
I agree. All right, moving right along to Susie Toot. This is one of the queens that said she could not sew. And for a bitch that cannot sew, mama, I love this look.
I was not expecting this from Susie Toot.
No. When she turned the corner, I expected it to be like when Acacia Forgot came out and did country the other day. I was like, oh. And
when the judges have said time and time again, you can stay true to who you are and your style of drag. Just elevate what it is. This is what they mean.
Yep.
We knew her coming in that she was going to be a comedy queen just by the way that she looked. And she was going to be very like olive oil.
You mean the 9 tapping toes of...
Yes. Let me say, slay of the day in Morse code, taps my foot on the ground. It's beautiful. Like though it looks painted on, like it.
Yes. It looks like it's her skin.
If you literally decapitated her and showed me this dress, like that is a woman, like that body.
Yep.
Like, yep. I don't know. Like it just literally looks like it's her skin. Like the way
going back to her Mona Lisa's read earlier, where she's like, "What about the jewels on your headpiece?" I see no jewels on this. I see nothing but glitter and red spray paint, and they're able to use that.
If she literally just wore a glitter pussycat wig and got rid of the headpiece that had the rhinestones on it, this would still be an amazing look. It's not about the headpiece. I could do without the headpiece.
Yeah.
I love this. Like the cold, like even the cold shoulder where the sleeves drape and then she's got like the beading that's draping all over the front of the dress, down the sleeves, down the back, and just the way that the dress fits her and just is molded to her body.
I honestly thought this looked a lot like I could have seen Trinity the Tuck wearing this when she did her Lucy thing for Snatch Game a couple seasons ago. Like I could have seen Trinity wearing this outfit with the little headpiece, but with her, you know, Lucy for makeup. Loved it. This is a slay for me. She did really good.
Slay of the day for me.
Yep. Moving right along to Ariadne. She also had red, and Ariadne had I forgot which one. I didn't keep up. But anyway, love. This is another slay for me.
Yes. Another
love the bell sleeves, love the headpiece. hair, like
Yes.
gorgeous. And I love that he called, like, just fits her to a T. And I think she was smart because she said at the beginning, she's like, somebody asked her if she was going to go more alien with this look, and she's like, "No, red's it's more like Mexican, more my heritage. So I'm going to go, with more of my heritage with this than doing something that is more alien-esque," which was smart. And Michelle Visage does call her out on that with her look and saying, you did tone down the white makeup to going down your face. It's still there, but it's not as pronounced, and that's what I wanted to see. So she did a good job changing it up.
I do know that she is of Hispanic descent, and this is an homage to that.
Yes.
I love the red. Again, I feel like it would have been gorgeous in any color. This girl, like, I don't even. Did she say that she's a seamstress? Like, she knows how to sew? Does she make all of her outfits?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. The cold shoulder, the bell sleeve with the volume at the bottom, which is not easy to do. The way that her waist is cinched in, and then she's got the high slit.
Yep.
And the headpiece, I could see where she was going for, but it's kind of giving me almost Curse of the Golden Flower aesthetic to it. Like, if you've ever seen that movie, watch it. This is what this is giving me. I love this. Like, another slay of the day for me.
Yep, I agree.
The reds are the red is killing it.
The red is redding.
Yep.
Moving on to the next red family, Lana Jarrett.
Spoke too soon.
Yeah. I did not like this at all. Like, it's cute, but it does not scream she owns everything. It screams, I just got out of high school and I'm trying to go find a boyfriend and I'm going to wear this.
It's a tube dress with fabric rolled up and stitched to the sleeves and the bottom of the dress. And I don't know, what are the embellishments that she put
That's
on
what
it?
I was just trying to figure out. Like, what the little, like, there's three on the top and one in the very center at the bottom. It's almost like a little bow or like a little butt. I don't know. It's ugly.
It's giving, like, very mature. Like, I feel like it's making her look way older than she is, because she's a baby. Like, she's very young. I feel like this is making her look older than she is. Is it the worst look of the day? No.
Yeah, she's 22. So, 22, she's not won really any pageants or really done anything. So that's showing here in her styling of this.
And it's not really her style either, because she walked in the workroom with a bathing suit on.
Yeah.
I'm
going to say it's a popcorn pass. I don't think it's the worst, but it's not. Yeah, it's not as bad as Lucky Stars, but it's not good either. So it's
horribly constructed. It fits her well. I just feel like the styling is off. I feel like the styling could have been better with this dress. But also, on any past season, this would have been a decent look. Yeah. But this season, with how well the other girls are doing with their dresses, it's just it's just blah. It doesn't.
It's like low, like middle of the pack, to me.
This looks like it would be in the petite section on clearance at Von Moore.
Yep.
Like the old church ladies leaving church on a Sunday afternoon, and they just got done eating at Cracker Barrel, and they're going to Von Mar to go look at their markdowns.
But again, it's how they sell it too, how they work the runway. And she just did not work the runway for me. And a couple didn't do that. You know. Let's see. Next we got Acacia Forgot. Girl.
It's a choice.
It is definitely a choice.
Acacia Forgot. I wish I could forget this look. I feel like this is an ongoing.
I feel like she can sew. I'll say that. I'll say the nice thing first. She can sew because she obviously constructed it. She sewed things on there. She was going for something 80s and she felt like this was in her mom's closet. Yes, but it was in the 80s and in your mom's closet for a reason. And when you are against, again, it's a taste level. And when you have someone like her, and she is 28 years old. So she's one of the older queens there. Still not old enough to know any really references from the 80s, but you should have better, your taste or your taste level should be better than they are.
And she said that she was, when she came into the workroom, that she was, I don't remember if she used the words comedy queen, but that's kind of what came off, was that she was a comedy queen. But I've gotten like zero comedy from her other than her style being that of what you would expect with a comedy queen. I'm not really getting that from her. I just feel like it's a reoccurring theme where the dresses are just like basic, and I feel like they've added things to the dress that don't do anything for it. Like the dress that she came into the workroom with, that black dress that had the random red teardrop stones or the black teardrop stones all over the corset area. It didn't do anything. Like if
she was in a comedy queens like season where it's just all queens who are comedy, and they were doing outlandish wild things, then this might would have done great. But you're going against queens like Lexi for the most part, but like Sam Starr, Arietti, some of these people that have higher polished looks, and you still like, oh, I'm still going to do this. Like, I don't know. You just need to kind of take in what others are doing and also be able to change up what you're doing,
you
to make
can definitely tell that she draws a lot of inspiration from like Dolly Parton.
Oh, yes.
With the blonde, like stacked wigs and just
her country stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Dolly Parton circa like the 70s and 80s. That's kind of what her style has been giving. This looks like if Dolly Parton and Lil Bo Peep had a love child. That is what this gives me.
Oh my God. Yeah, I see that.
What are another reason?
And also then again, styling and accessory. There's no accessories with this. There's no necklace with this. There's no, it's just kind of
I don't like that she used again, I know that the fabric choices were limited, but I don't like that she used that see-through, I don't even know if I want to call it lace, that see-through fabric, and then she put the ruffles on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like
and then the little flower with the rhinestone on the nipples.
Yeah, what's with the pasties on the nipples?
Well, I mean, she is wearing a breastplate, so I guess she had to cover the nipple from the breastplate, so that's probably there for that. But again, it's just styling choices that just don't carry over and translate to being good.
Because obviously she knows how to construct something, because I mean, honestly, I wouldn't know how to do that.
Well, exactly. I wouldn't have either. But you were able to construct that, so couldn't you have constructed something? I don't know. Like I said,
I feel like she made the volume at the bottom of the dress, which is good that you put it in your hip area, especially if you're broad shouldered. But I feel like if you look at her walking down the runway, the straight photo, there's nothing other than the pasty. She has nothing going on right here. It's just blah. There's nothing here. It's the ruffle sleeve, and then the ruffles at the bottom. It almost looks like one of the cakes at Walmart that sits in the refrigerator that nobody wants. That's just got like all the tiers of frosting on them. That's what it reminds me of.
And again, all these harsh, like her cheeks, so harsh. Like you can see the straight on photo. It just is like, looks like railroad ties on her cheeks.
And she's
like she needs to blend.
Like she is a cute boy. Her out of drag, she is very cute.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a popcorn pass for me.
Yeah, it's a popcorn pass for me.
Moving on to Corey King, walking down the stage looking like Sesame Street gone wrong. Like Big Bird has taken over being a hoe. I mean, I like her look better than I like, if we're going off like short looks, I like her look better than I like Lana Gervais' look. No, well, Lexi's too, but Lana Gervais, like, you know. But I also feel like she is another one that walks down the runway and she just like does a little thing at the very beginning and she doesn't let you savor the look and she doesn't model it very well. So, you know, and again, no accessories to this.
All of
no
these
necklaces,
girls, most of these girls have very, very big personalities. You can tell from the drama this season already, but you can tell that the stage presence is like a little lacking with some of these queens. Which I think a little bit of his age, but we know that Sam Starr is very, very good at stage presence because of her background with pageants, who her drag mother is, being Trinity the Tuck, and also being a title holder. So, you know, she was brought up right and trained well. Some of these other girls don't have stage presence because, for one, they're young, and for two, other than performing at their home bars, I mean, what else do they have? I honestly, I know that she was in the bottom 3 for this look.
I would have mopped it. I would have worn it.
I would have mopped it. I wouldn't. Okay. This is a cute, simple dress that you could get on Fashion Nova right now.
Yes. And I will say, for the amount of time that they had to do a design look, like, this does not look like it took very long. Like, I can't believe it took you an entire day to make this. Like, you could have done something more with it. I feel like she did this. I was like, okay, this is good enough. And
it is a good length, because, you know, a lot of the girls that don't know how to make dresses, when they do make a dress, it's always that awkward length where it like doesn't hit the floor. Like Adore Delano was very, that was one of her weaknesses, was she would never make her dresses the right length. Or it would be too long, like it'd be right above the knee or right below the knee. It is a good length, I feel like, because
and the other problem with her too is her entrance look was short. Her, you know, all of her looks have been short so far, really. So I really want to see her
branch out.
And then she had, for her talent, she had that bodysuit that had like the rhinestones that were kind of falling off of it. So, like, I think she needs to change it up to give the judges something a little bit different. Yeah. But
I feel if she would have made this dress, because it fits her well, I feel like if she would have made it longer, and made it hit the floor, even if it was fitted all the way down, don't make it a mermaid dress, don't make it more complicated, just made it longer, and even left the sleeves the way they are, or made herself some gloves, like got rid of the fur here and just put it, like, did a strapless dress with the fur around it, and then did gloves, like long gloves with a full length dress with the fur at the bottom.
Yeah.
I feel
or even have it where going from the waist all the way to the floor with a high split, you know, with the fur, and then put like some jewels up the top.
Because she already made this. Clearly, I mean, even though she's not a seamstress, clearly she knows how to construct a decent dress. I just feel
Ben said she is serving chicken. She's serving Big Bird, fixing to go to the oven.
I know she was bottom 3, but I feel like personally, I like this dress better than Lexi's, and I like it better than
I think
lingerie.
the difference, if I feel like Lana, Lexi, and Corey's, all three were very basic dresses. Lexi modeled hers better than the rest of them did. So I feel like that gave her a little bit of a leg up. Lana Jarre has a better walk and a better presentation than Corey. Corey just kind of walks out there and does Corey. Very, like, you know, which I guess is very Bostonish of her. I don't know. But, yeah.
I mean,
so
she
I
knows
feel
how
like
to
that's
paint
probably
because
what got to
the girl is built like a football player, which is fine. I mean, they're all.
Oh, no, and she's tiny, though. She's tiny. She's not as big as you think she is.
Really?
Yeah, and her YouTube videos where she's with, because her and Lydia Butthole Collins are dating, and they're like laying right there next to each other. Like, they almost are mashing. Like, she's a little bit wider than Lydia, but not much.
Oh.
Yeah.
She looks so much, I guess maybe the way, like her arms, because her arms look pretty built. And then the way that she pads, I just figured that she was just, you know, a bit more muscular. But I will say,
She
I
pads
do,
right.
out of all the three simple dresses, the three simple short dresses that we've seen this episode, I do like hers the best. Yeah. I'm sorry, out of the three, I would wear this one.
I do too. Yep.
Just a different color.
Moving on to Lydia Butthole Collins. At first, I like this dress. But I think, what did I say? That it looks like Captain Jack Sparrow went to a pig play party and got pissed on. And then, but I hated how she modeled it. And then the more I look at it, the more I'm just like, God, girl, like, what the?
It looks like my grandmother's cat Tinkerbell went into her bathroom and climbed her ruffle shower curtain. And that's what it's giving. I saw it down the runway and it looked better while she was moving. I will give her that.
Yeah.
I think the concept for what she was going for was cool.
Yeah, I think she could have styled it better. She could have styled it better and she could have modeled it better. I do not feel like I felt this was worse than Corey's.
Oh.
But, you know.
Yeah. I mean, just because you have more fabric doesn't make the dress better.
Yeah.
I feel like she had a concept. I just don't know if she achieved the concept that she was going for.
Yeah. For me, it's a couch catastrophe because I'm not in a piss play. And it's what this is reminding me of, this piss play.
You know the fur toilet cover that like your grandparents would use, and they would have the toilet cover, the matching rug, and
oh, that's the same material. If that fabric, you know, that fabric is the same material. So yeah,
that's what the sleeves look like on this. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say gown. This outfit.
So are you gonna say popcorn pass, couch catastrophe, or are you gonna? Or is this your slay of the day?
No, this is couch catastrophe for me. Or I should say catastrophe, because
speaking of couch catastrophe, we're moving on to Joella. Girl. Obviously the illness of delusion is strong on this season because
there's always that one person, one or two people from each season that just doesn't sit with you very well. And everyone's trying to make it out like Hormona Lisa is the annoying one this season. It's Joella. It's Joella. She's maybe a little bit of it is the editing. But
you really can't say that because hold on, I've got some receipts here. What was it she said? You know, Joella tells Lucky that she's confident that she is going to do well in the lip sync and that she will be here next week, and that she doesn't want to see Lucky go, but she's confident that she's going to go.
That was so mean. When I saw that in Untucked, that was so mean. We were just talking about that with Lucky Stars, how down she was even before she walked out on the runway. Like, she knew that she did not do well. She saw everybody else's dresses. Everyone knows how she normally looks, and you see her, like, you already see a girl that's down and out. You already know, compared to the other queens, that she's going to be in the bottom. Why would you, instead of comforting that person, like, you know, no matter what happens, like, you know, may the best drag queen win, whatever, why are you going to go out of your way to push somebody while they're down? Like, I'm just so heartbroken over this, but, you know, I'm very confident in that I'm going to win this lip sync. And I wish it was somebody else that I was lip syncing against, because I know I'm going to send you home.
Well, like, you know, she's sitting there too. And after the talent show, you know, say episode 1, you know, Joella was in that one. They all come back, and all of the girls like, y'all did such a good job. Congratulations. You did it. You know, episode 2 comes around. The girls come back, and Joelle's first one to say, oh, I hated your number. You're going to be in the bottom. You sucked. You did this. And Lana Trey called her out on it. I was like, bitch. And then we see this build up all through Untucked for that, where they're talking about how Joella's looking like a booger. And we get to the beginning of episode 3, and they're still going on about it and say, well, you're going to glue your wig down, or you're going to, like, don't come for all of these people and be reading all of this shit.
What Hormona, and that was another thing a couple of people had commented, saying like, oh, well, she was the only one sitting next to you in Untucked on the last episode, like talking about Hormona and Joella. Joella was, you know, showing you grace. She was sitting next to you. She was being nice to you when all the other drag queens, you know, were saying stuff behind your back. And I'm like, was she being nice? Because Hormona said, who do you think is going to be in the bottom? She straight up said, you.
Yep. And like Levi said earlier, messy queen, delusional as fuck.
I will say, I will give her this. This is the best Joella has looked all season.
I mean, true. But it's still a couch catastrophe for me. This was, bad. I mean, I know you hot glued it and did all this other stuff, but girl, RuPaul even told you not to do this. There's so many different things you could have done with this.
I praise this season for being able to at least construct a leotard with some type of fascinator or train on it, because if we look back at some of the earlier seasons, like Shangela and the queen, oh my God, what was her name? That had literally a corset and leotard with bags glued on it.
Yeah.
For a design challenge.
Yeah.
I do think it is one of the bottom looks for me, but I don't think compared to other seasons that it is the most horrible thing that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But like RuPaul said, so you're going to do a leotard for the runway for a design challenge? Are you sure? And she stuck with that. Like, I don't even mind the way, so I don't even mind the contrast of the fabrics, because it's giving me very Wicked right now, like Elphaba color green. If she would keep the leotard the way that it is, that's fine. But somehow made like a train for it to make it look like a dress, like maybe leave it like open in the front and like have a big long train behind her with like some type of sleeve, like maybe like a long like Anastasia type sleeve.
That would have required some actual work, and I don't think she really wanted to put in the work. Honestly, I think she was delusional enough to think that she was going to do this and she was going to be great at it, and you know, this was fabulous. It's like, I love what I turned out. So yeah, couch catastrophe for me. I'm just
this is, I'm gonna just say a popcorn pass. It's just kind of meh. It's not the worst of the night. I will say Lucky Stars and the last queen with the yellow ruffles. Those are the
Collins.
Yeah. those were the two couch catastrophes for me so far. This is just popcorn pass.
Next, we have On Your Nerve. Miss gonna steal the trim, and I agree with what a lot of others are saying. This is a tube dress that has a napkin around the top of it, and that was accessorized great. And I think one of the judges said the dress is like a 5 or 6, but the modeling was a 10. Like, she sold it. Like, this is how you model. This is how you present things on the runway. And I think that's what carried her through. And I will say she looks like Fader Parks in this. Like, completely looks like Fader.
Okay, so you know how we were talking about the last drag queen? Oh my god. I'm horrible with names. The yellow short
Lydia
dress.
Butthole Collins. Oh, the yellow short one?
Yes.
Lingerie?
No.
Oh, no.
Plain Jane's drag daughter.
Corey King.
This is what she needed to do with the yellow dress. Bring it all the way down. And that's what I meant by this. Like, you can make it, like, you don't have to make it a mermaid, just bring the dress all the way down. I feel like that would have made her not in the bottom 3. This dress.
Well, she's also one of the few people to accessorize using jewelry and wearing a necklace and, and something around, the rest of them really have not had anything. So, I'm going to say it's, I would mop it, because I would wear it, but it's just like, I don't feel like she deserved to be in the top 3.
I know the drama behind the stones, her stealing like the trim, the beads.
Yeah.
Honestly, if she didn't have those beads to glue on the dress for that triangular umpire waist moment she's doing, and then she has that on her headdress as well. If she didn't have that on there, honestly, I think this dress would have been bottom 3. If Corey King would have elongated.
If we're going to go by her stealing stuff, I think she should have been in the bottom 3 simply for stealing something from another queen that another queen was going to use. Like, I feel like there should have been repercussions for that. But, drag queens are going to be drag queens, and drag queens steal shit all the time. So, and you're right. If it wasn't for that, it would have been basic, and that's why she stole it. But you didn't have to steal something. Like, she could have taken some of that trim off of that, what she's using as a shawl, and she could have lined it with that, and that would have still looked good. Yeah.
She could have used that fabric. She could have used what she's using as a shawl. She could have used that to make the mermaid part of her dress look better. I think that would have been really, really pretty. How Sam Starr did. I can't remember if she did fringe or feathers towards the bottom of her dress.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have made this dress look even better. I'm just going to say it's a popcorn pass for me.
Next we have Miss Jill Sparkles. I love this dress. Love this dress.
It's giving very Madonna. Circa the 80s. With the torpedo breastplate.
Only thing I don't like about it is like the line that goes down the front of it, like it kind of being a squiggly line just throws me off for some reason, and to me it makes her look shorter. But that's just a very small, minute detail. That's just like, otherwise, like, I know how much time it took to construct this. Like, I don't feel like it was one of the best looks, but I don't think it's one. I think it's like a top safe for me. I would mop it.
Popcorn pass. I like that she threw a little bit of comedy in there, and she did like that homage to I don't know if she's going based off of Madonna when she was on tour in the 80s, or if she's going based off of the torpedo bra that women wore in like the 40s and 50s. Either way, I feel like it's a cute concept and it was a cute idea. And I love how she did like the fabric scarf around her neck that went into her hair. I don't like the rest of the dress though. I don't like the full body ruffles.
Yeah. I do like that look. Like for me, if I wore that, then I would look like, a stuffed turkey fixing to get, put on a table and served for Thanksgiving dinner. Like I could not pull it off, but
if I wore that dress, my boobs would look amazing, but the rest of that dress, it's going to look like two pigs fighting under a blanket.
And you would be constantly walking around yanking that dress up because you'd be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
I feel like if this dress was shorter, granted, it would have made it too simple. I feel like if she would have cut it higher, it would have been prettier. It would have been cute as like a cocktail dress. If she would have cut it a little bit higher, but I'm not really a fan. It's a cute idea, and I love what she did with the breast area, and I love her hair and the fabric scarf. Yeah. But it's just,
and I love her mug. Her mug is like one of the best mugs of the season for me.
Stamped. It's like I love how she like her eyebrows. She like almost draws like she almost draws them like straight out, I guess, to like lift her face. But beautiful.
Yep. Next we have Miss Sam Starr,
hometown queen, Sam Starr from Birmingham, Alabama.
The only thing I wish she would have done different is, like we were talking earlier with, I believe for Mona Lisa, I wish that her dress, where the blue or cerulean, whatever, meets the feathers, I wish that wasn't a straight line all the way across. I wish that was like cut into a V to make her body look a little bit longer. But
I could see that too, but I'm honestly not mad at it. I feel like she did very, very well. She's done very well every episode so far, and I know it's still early on, but she's done, for being one of the youngest, or she is the youngest on the cast.
No, she's 24. So she's older than the youngest on the cast is hold on, let me get to the right season. The youngest on the cast is Jules. She's 22. Sam's 24. Yep.
So
Lana Ray and Jules are the youngest.
Okay. So being one of the youngest in the cast, and to know how to construct a gown like this, but to also have so much poise and stage presence, even more so than some of the other girls that have 5 or 6 years more experience than her, she is definitely a top contender for
me. There's no one that models or works the runway better than Sam, but Lexi. Sam and Lexi are the top two queens for me when it comes to their runway presentation.
Lexi,
and I'll say Anya Nerve. Anya Nerve works the runway really good. She presents things really good.
Yeah, Anya Nerve, I think, is going to be a favorite with the judges because of her personality.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the underdogs do have amazing personalities, and they end up being a favorite with the judges. But yes,
look at Georgia.
Lexi does have a little bit more experience under her belt, but she's also been doing drag how much longer than her, but she's also 9 years older than she is. So definitely her. I would say Sam's is probably my top 2 of the week.
Yeah, same
with this dress. I love,
and I think the best compliment she got was from T.S. Madison, who said, it looks like Rue McClanahan, standing on, outside of, house waiting for Big Daddy to come home, and it's just very Southern, very, Mae West meets Rue McClanahan for me.
Yes, I definitely get like the Mae West, like very Mae West meets Flapper, because like just the way like the top, if you like, even if she would have cut the gown shorter, it's very like Gatsby-esque, very Flapper era. I could definitely see Mae West meets Gatsby. I love this in any color, like emerald green. If it was in the red, if it was in black, beautiful.
Yeah, I agree.
The hat, the fan, the jewelry, the gloves, the I don't, is it fringe? What is the fabric? Is it feathers or
It's
fringe?
a fur. It's like a fur. Yeah. Like a feathery
beautiful.
fur. I don't know. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep. I agree. Next we have Crystal Envy. For me, this is I would mop it. The only thing I don't like, where she places her bows, like right here on her arm, I wish they had been up like at the shoulder. You know, to me that just is off. And to like her seams, there's some bunching at the seams, so it looks like it was, it wasn't sewn up as good as it could have been.
See, I don't mind the pleating and the ruffles in the dress.
Yeah.
Like the previous girl where the what's her name? Sparkles.
Yeah.
Her dress was completely like almost like you had taken a string and like pulled it tight and it just cinched.
Well, yeah, she was rigid. Yeah.
Yes. I like this over that. Like honestly, this is one of the top looks for me. It is.
I mean, it's clean. My problem with her, I love her red hair. I love her. My problem with her is when she walks down the runway, I get nothing from it. Like when Anya walks down, I'm like, ooh, she's working it. When Sam walks down, I'm like, yes, that's how you model. Even Jules walks down, she's getting pretty. When Crystal walks down, for some reason, I get no personality from her. And like, I feel like we keep getting all of these looks, like the Tropicana girl, but I feel like I still don't know who Crystal Envy is as a queen, as a performer. I just feel like it's just like kind of, one note.
Maybe her stage presence isn't as strong as some of the other girls, but I feel like you're getting a lot of her personality behind the scenes when she's in Untucked, and she's very honest with her opinion on things, which I respect. I love this look. It's giving me an homage to old Hollywood 50s movie star, very Audrey Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe with like the headscarf going around.
Yeah, I love the headscarf. I love the red hair too.
Yes. Yep. I feel like the red with the blue is beautiful.
Yep. I would mop it.
And like, I don't mind the bows. Like, I know the bows maybe aren't in the best place, but honestly, even if those bows weren't on there or they were in a different spot, I would still love this dress. And even though it is,
I mean, it's a lot better than what some other people served. Yes. So, I mean,
I love that what she did with the scarf, how it makes it look like a train.
Yeah.
I love this. This is,
I love the scarf too. Yeah.
Her, definitely like, I would say she's like in the top for me. Like the blue and the reds are killing it this week.
Yeah, definitely. So we find out that the winner of week 3 is Sam Starr. I agree. I feel like it could have been a toss-up between Ariete or Sam Starr, but I feel like when it comes to runway presentation, Sam Starr just is able to eat it up. They loved her smile. They gave her so many compliments. I think, hold on, let me look. What was it that RuPaul told her? Sam Starr said that Michelle told her that her name was perfect for her because she is a star for sure. Which, to be getting a compliment like that week 3 is a really good compliment to get.
Yeah, definitely top 3 for me this week was Ariete, Sam Starr, and
Crystal Envy.
Crystal and B. Those are definitely my top 3 for the week.
I agree.
And Sam Star did win. Yes, I agree that she should have won. Her dress was beautiful.
Yeah, totally. Then we move on to we find out the bottom 3 are lucky stars, Corey King and Joella. And we find out that Corey King is safe, putting Lucky Stars and Joella up against each other. Do you agree with the bottom 2?
Based on overall construction and styling, I would say yes. Lucky was going to be in the bottom no matter what. It didn't matter what she did. Her makeup and her dress were obviously not her best.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I agree that both of them were the bottoms of the week.
They continue to lip sync against each other. And they lip sync to Paula Abdul's The Way That You Love Me. Girl. Just from these 2 pictures, this was a mess. Like, Lucky Stars takes off her hoop skirt and she's got a cheetah print panty on underneath, loses her shoes. Joella starts doing like the disco moves. Lucky Stars doesn't know the words.
The whole performance was kind of lackluster.
Girl, if you knew you had a horrible look and you knew, like, you could look around the room and, like, if you were a little bit self-aware, you're like, okay, I'm not doing well. I'm not confident. I probably should learn this song. Because she's had time to learn the song. Would you not have been learning that fucking song? To go out there and not know the fucking words? Like,
well, they give you, from what Bianca Del Rio was saying on a podcast a couple months ago, she was saying how they give you, because they take all of your electronics and stuff. They give you an iPod.
Yep.
With all of the songs downloaded on it. All the lip sync songs that they don't give you in order. They don't tell you which one, but you can kind of guess based off the challenge which one it's going to be. So you can practice them. So if you don't know them, baby, you better believe if that's all you have to do, like I'm such a musically inclined person, that's all I'm going to do in my free time, especially when I'm stressed, is listen to music to decompress.
And I'm pretty sure that, I don't think they can listen to it while they're working while they're videoing. Because they're wanting them to, interact with each other to get drama. But I do think they know what the song is like 2 days before. So when the challenge starts, they'll be like, and your lip sync song for the week is probably going to be this, So they do have like 1 or 2 days to learn it because, whenever they're in Untucked, they're usually sitting there listening to the song, working, So, yeah. To me, it's unacceptable that you go on that stage and you don't know the lip sync song. Like,
yeah, and it's okay to miss a few words because when you're in the adrenaline, you're in the moment. You might slip up on some of the words, even on a song that you know really well. But to just not know the song when you're literally given the song and you can practice it when you go back to your hotel room, when you're backstage.
Yep.
You know how RuPaul's only done it a couple of times where he was like, I'm sorry, my dears, but neither of you have what it takes to stay in this competition. So both of you shall sashay away. I thought she was going to do that.
From your mouth to God's ears, honey. I wish.
I thought.
But then we would have had, if that happened, then we would have had to have a double badunkadunk tank. And
well, no, I mean, they didn't send anybody home the first 2 episodes.
Well, I mean, I know. But I don't think they were ever going to send anybody home the first 2 episodes. I'm pretty sure that was, Hormona Lisa getting it was, if it wasn't Hormona Lisa, it could have been Arietti, it could have been Corey King, and they still would have been saved.
I think this is rigged right here. Like just like how with the Monopoly mini challenge, it was rigged. This is definitely rigged. They're choosing who stays. I think the judges do have some say in it, but
I don't know necessarily that they're choosing who stays. I think they've chosen which week is going to get saved. So I think they're like, okay, the end of week 2, they're going to get saved. And I'm guessing it's going to be the week of the Snatch Game. Whoever, is going to go home on Snatch Game week is probably going to get saved that week.
I could see that. I just, like, when I was watching it, I felt like, okay, well, maybe they saw that hormone because he chose Hormona, Lisa, to come to Drag Race. So, of course, he's not going to send her home. Maybe he saw, like, she has a little bit more potential than to go home first. But maybe they ended up sending Lucky Stars home because she tried something different and obviously it didn't work. What else is she going to show that hasn't already been seen? And obviously her changing up her drag didn't do well. So, of course, they're going to send her home. But I do agree with what you said, too. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, Lucky Stars, I know she tried, but damn girl, Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up. Okay, I'll do that in a second. So this is a little bit more of the shady we were talking about earlier. So Joella posted on her Twitter, me ignoring every single Untucked tweet because it was actually the most traumatic moment of my life. All I can say is I feel like I've been lied to many times. And, we get it Untucked and she starts sobbing and boohooing. And she's saying, in LA, I'm literally known for my looks. And someone that's considered an icon in local drag, the looks from all the other queens. Like if looks could kill. Yeah. But the full statement is, I feel so embarrassed. I'm so scared for the girls back home to see this because in LA, I'm literally known for my looks. I'm known to be opulent. I feel like I'm not doing as well on the show as I wanted to. And it was just one of my biggest fears. I feel like so many times someone that is considered like an icon in local drag comes on the show and they disappoint their community.
I mean, she said it herself. I mean, it's not like people are attacking her for no reason. Like the stuff that she said about other girls to their face and behind their back, and that she's making herself look like she's the grand dame of LA. She's like, I am LA's premier Asian drag queen.
Sure, Jan. I love Sam Starr's quote the best though. Miss Joella thinks she's one of the premier LA girls. And honey, if that is the best of LA, then I'm not coming back.
A true Southern belle speaking.
Bitch.
Speaking her truth.
And really quickly, I want to just look at so on What You Packin', here are the other looks that Joella was going to show this season. And again, we've seen nothing but looks and these big, complicated and arty pieces, but none to me, which would be travelable or that you could use over and over and over again. So this is the first one. Looks like a shark woman. This is another one.
This is Joella?
No, I'm sorry. Not Joella. Lucky Stars.
Oh.
These are all of her outfits that was on her What's Her Packing. That was going to be her next 2 or 3 challenges. So a shark in a swimsuit. It looks like rain and stormy cloud or rainbow coming. I don't know. This almost looks like a low rent version of what Sam Starr did in her first runway. And this she wore on the press tour, I think, because this was what she was wearing for the press tours that they were doing.
Very, very, very club kid.
Yeah. I just don't see being able to pack all this into a suitcase and travel around the world. And,
know. I feel like 3 or 4 of those costumes would take up an entire room. Oh, okay. This is a close-up.
Yeah. I mean, it's cute. But, and I see that she's got talent in it, but like, I feel like she's going to have for sure, she's going to have a career building costumes for, you know, all these Comic-Con type things or, looks that she's wanting to do, but again, you're showing a lot of the same thing. So you didn't bring anything that's showing any type of versatility. Like, all of these looks are just basically a different type of thing, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
It's kind of a cross between Nina Bonina. Like, this is what I've been getting from her. Nina Bonina Brown and Jimbo. It's kind of when I saw her, and I've seen kind of her drag evolve a bit from her entryway into the workroom. That's kind of what I was getting.
It sparks. I've enjoyed the show. Dakota's my favorite ever. She's amazing. So proud of her. Enjoyed it. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate it.
Thank you. This is I'm sorry, y'all. This is my first podcast ever. So thank y'all for being so sweet and kind and welcoming. This is also my first time ever going live. But I've definitely had a blast. Thank y'all for all the love and support.
So what other reality shows do you watch?
I used to watch a lot more reality TV. I don't watch as much anymore. Occasionally, of course, RuPaul's Drag Race. I love Celebrity Big Brother. The one before it came to the US and the UK, but I would have to watch it on YouTube, of course. The first season I had ever watched was the one that Michelle Visage was on, and I watched that one religiously. When
the UK version of Celebrity Big Brother.
Yes. Love that. Haven't watched it in a while. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Atlanta are my two favorites from the franchise. I watch clips and reels from other franchises from the Real Housewives.
Steven loves Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
I have not watched that one, but I've heard it's really good. I know a couple of the girls from there because they've been mentioned on some of the other franchises. But I definitely need to watch more. But those are probably my top, like RuPaul's Drag Race, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is my top, and then Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then I also used to really like Real Housewives of New Jersey and New York, but of course New York is no longer. And then Celebrity Big Brother.
You watched the one of the Dubai one that had Ayan on it?
Okay, so I've only watched a couple of episodes, but I fell in love with her after just watching like one episode. So whenever I see reels or whatever, it's usually her. And that, I guess it's just my algorithm, because whenever I see it, it's always her that pops up from Real Housewives of Dubai.
Your algorithm is probably like mine. Our algorithms are probably normally shirtless guys doing sit-ups or, Yeah,
my Lord, the little whoever is creating my algorithm, like the little tech nerd over in Asia that's creating my algorithm, like on TikTok, like fighting for his life because my algorithm is all over the place.
Alrighty. Well, Dakota, where can people find you and follow you and keep up with all that you have to offer in the world?
So you can follow me on all social media platforms. I have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So
TikTok.
I don't post on TikTok. I have not created a viral video yet, but it is the same handle on all of my platforms. So it's Dakota Raine XOXO on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and that's all that I have for now. I do have Snapchat. It's I do not even know what my name on Snapchat is.
Or you can find her on OnlyFans at 38 triple G's. Just kidding. She's not on there.
Hence my title under here. Your husband's favorite. What is it? What did I put under for my
hold on, let me take this off so I can see. Your husband's dream girl.
Your husband's dream girl.
And everyone can follow the Couch Potato Queens on Twitter at Couch Potato Queens, Instagram, or make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel if you have not already. And do us a favor and click the like button and comment on the video as soon as the live ends. It helps us out so much. You can also keep up with me on Instagram or TikTok at KenzieJoe205 or Twitter at Kenzie_reality. You can catch the Couch Potato Queens back here Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern or Central. Yeah, we'll post it on our page, but we will be doing a live recap of The Traitors episode 5. And then we will be back here next Monday night. It'll be myself with Dakota, and we will be joined by Tsunami Raine. She is another queen from the Southeast area who is going to join us to discuss RuPaul's Drag Race. And then we will be rejoined by Kalana Blue the week after that. So,
yes.
Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoy the episode. Please make sure again to like, share, and subscribe. And we will catch you next time. Bye.
Thanks, y'all.